We're back into the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup for Junior 8s. Hampton School on the Berkshire side, and principally yellow, in yellow and black, yes, and Scotch College, Melbourne, Australia, on the Buck Station in red, gold and blue.
Full-on start from both crews. I think Hampton looked to me to be rating considerably higher, just coming out, trying to get an edge. We know that the Scotch College Melbourne crew went really fast in the race in Amsterdam last week, the Holland Becker, so did a really good time, 5:40. So they'll know at Hampton they've got to take it to them early. I think we can already start to see that Australian crew is starting to pull away. We know that they've got good form.
Yeah, they did very good time yesterday as well. Actually, they finished the course some 16 seconds quicker than Hampton did, which might or might not tell a story. They won by 4.5 lengths against St George's, did Scotch College. Hampton beat Monmouth by 1.25 lengths in a time of 6:49. And as you hinted fairly early in the race, Kath, it is indeed Scotch College who appear to have taken control.
Yeah, and the great tradition of Melbourne schools competing here. I think Melbourne Grammar School was here last year, and they between them have fantastic competitions and rivalry in Australia, and they always turn up with strong crews.
If you go down to the banks of the Yarra River, you're likely to see and find some accomplished oarsmen, particularly out of this school, Scotch College, located in Hawthorn, Melbourne, Victoria, Australia.
And this year in March they won the 2017 Victoria State Championship, beating Melbourne Grammar. Of course, that a result that exchanges hands on a reasonably regular basis. But here they look to definitely have the upper hand.
Now, after yesterday's win, their coach Tom Woodruff said, again, something we've alluded to, the nature of Henley is that there could be a range of different standards in the draw. And in our area of the draw, we have St Paul's and we have Eton, who are outstanding crews. And with interesting humility, he goes on to say, history shows you that Australian crews don't win here. We're under no illusions. Well, notwithstanding that, it looks as though they're going to win this heat and progress. What is upcoming for them, though, will perhaps be a greater trial. They will face the winners of Pangbourne or St Paul's. And St Paul's pedigree hardly needs underlining.
Yeah, this is an incredibly tough event. It only gets tougher as we see the new programmes coming up and the standards of schoolboy rowing just gaining year on year. So they're right, but they're looking pretty strong there. So it'll really be interesting to see. I mean, I'm sure, although they're showing that humility to say it's really tough, we're under no illusions, they'll have trained knowing that they can't have any illusions about how tough it will be. So that they'll be ready for that. They'll really be wanting to come and see if they can break in to that stronghold that the British schools have had in this event.
These Australian sports people only do humility up to a point, don't they?
It's kind of what I was saying, yeah.
And good on them. That's why we love the rivalry between the UK, Ashes, cricket, rugby, whatever we choose to take them on at, and of course, most pertinently here, rowing, where there have been some wonderful international scraps down the years, which have gone one way and the other. It's a fabulous rivalry, and it's being sustained in a sense by moments such as this, by the schoolboys coming through to become in their time accomplished oarsmen and athletes, and maybe one day soon they'll be vying for Olympic medals themselves.
Absolutely. We've seen recently the sort of Australian-British rivalry renewed amongst the Cox's Falls, across the Cox's Falls event internationally, and it starts as schoolboys as well. It's fantastic to see that whole range of experience and racing that goes on between Australia and Britain, and of course the rest of the world. But it's great to see it on the waters of Henley.
There's Greg Searle at the back of the umpire's boat, who won this race with Hampton School back in 1987. So there you are, an absolute personification and example of where this thing can lead.
Indeed, and I think for Hampton, they're constantly trying to sort of get back to that glory period of the 80s and trying to work out a way. They've got a great coach with Neil Double. They're trying to get their squads back to that level. They want to compete. They know they've had that in their history, and it's a challenge for them. And it won't be happening this year, but I'm sure they'll be looking to kind of build on these performances and get back into the weekend stages of this event in the future.
Meantime, it will be most interesting over the upcoming 2 and 3 days to follow the progress of Scotch College, Melbourne, Australia, who appear a strong, coherent, mature, athletic crew, and who win here at the expense of Hampton School and go forward in the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup. Scotch College by a very safe margin indeed.